play a game.
G'day viewers, the game has finally loaded. Jesus, that sounds shit. Anyway, hello to British Rail fan Psych and Michael, and who have we got? Racing Transport, Teesside Train Watcher, Andy 701, Andy Lad 701 in fact, and I think that might be everyone at the moment. We're going to have a look at, what are we looking at? Preston Crewe reduced timetable on the Xboxen to see what it's like. Because I've forgotten who it was that asked for it, but one of the let's call everybody team members. There we go. One of the team members asked for it. How am I, Ryan? That would be a better question left unasked, I think. This is not good. But anyway, I shall survive. We have the West Coast Main Line Crew Preston reduced. We are on the Xboxen today, Xbox Series X, and God, do I want to try and drive one of those with a controller? To be honest, I don't even know how. How bad could it be? Let's do a quick one on here. They're all short services anyway. Shouldn't be too bad. Where's the worst one? 16. Let's do that. All right. And dynamic weather. Hell yeah. Driver. Sure. So hope other people are better than me. Let me just put the frame countery thing on. If I can. Come on, game. Do your thing. All right, I'll stop leaning over to the Xbox keyboard. The Xbox is, in fact, that way. The Xbox is that way. Okay, I have to do this backwards. I get it wrong every time because the Xbox is, it's really over there, but hang on. Whatever. I'm backwards on the screen. And I make myself backwards so that you can read this. Because if I don't put myself backwards, you can't read that. Right, so we have got that. Can we have frame rate, please? What if I say go? Now I can have frame rate. Okay. Well, that's all right. 60 FPS on the Xboxen. Unlock the doors. That I can probably do. Actually, I've got a keyboard like the scene. I'll just bloody use it. There we go. Get over here. Move my coffee out of the way, which I haven't drunk yet. It's been rather a period. And I don't mean that in the good ladies way. I mean that in the, there are some things going on way. All right. So we've got the master key in, I think if we actually have to get out of the chair for this, let's do the, let's be silly and turn on safety systems as well. And there's another switch down there, isn't there? Change ends lever. I'm sure there's another switch down there. Ah, I was on it. Damn it. Come on. Yay, there it is. It must be at this end. Okay. Shit in the chair. And doors open. How do we work this thing? Gears, I think, are up and down, aren't they? Oh, no, that's reverser. And gears. Well. Okay. Gears are definitely that. How do I get to neutral? I don't get to neutral. Ah, that's how I get to neutral. I go past first. Well, that makes sense. Not. Alright, let's do headlights with the keyboard. What about white? No, I have to do it with the switch. Fine, let's do it with the switch. White. We're just going to pretend the one at the back's okay, and I'm not even going to try the destination rubbish. Alright, we've got the doors shut. We have done all that. We've done all that. We need to take the brakes off. All the way off. We need to be horny. And we might need to go into first gear, and we probably need to drive before we roll backwards and spat. That looks promising. Is the Xbox loud enough? I don't think it is it? It's quite quiet. Let's take it up a little bit. For both of us. How's that? Better? Looks better. Oh, going too fast. Oh no, whatever will we do? Whatever will we do? Oh, those lights I painstakingly turned on aren't there anyway. good. We are on Preston Crewe. Oh, we got nice smoke. Not delightful. I think it's nice. Ryan Trackside forgot you're in my Discord server. Oh, welcome back. I'll start catching up with the chat. You've surpassed 400 subs, T-Side Train Watcher. Ah, community is not far away then. Actually, I think they relaxed the community stuff. I think you can probably have it now, if you haven't already. Let us apply some spud. No, we're maxed out. We're revved out on the limiter at the moment. So we need to come down and... No, not that. What are you doing? Ah! How does that work? Right, so... gear commands on the keyboard. We'll figure out what they are now, because they certainly don't work on the bloody controller. They just do stupid things. Let's just figure out what the bloody gear command on a controller is, shall we? Versa gear up. Yeah, okay. So it is the up and down on the pad, but it does stupid things. Right. Do we have a shit implementation maybe? Or can we just go to fourth gear and be done with it? What if I do that? No. No, that's no good. That's backwards. That's off. Ah, this is rubbish. This is rubbish on the console. What have you done, Just Trains? Couldn't be Just Trains' fault. They don't do anything wrong. Right. Okay, now let's accelerate again. And... right, now, what is the keyboard mapping? Can I get a keyboard map? Probably not, because it's not going to tell me a keyboard mapping, is it? Because it doesn't think I'm using a keyboard. Fine. If someone could look up the keyboard mapping for the gears, that would be awesome. Need it in about 1 second. What I'll do, I'll just do that thing that learner drivers do, and we'll just stop messing with the brakes. All right, we'll just do this. We'll just crawl along in first gear. It'll be fine. Out. Out. Sykes says, a good question. I've had good performance Xbox X with the reduced on Trent Valley. Good. Andy says, good news about his mum. We'll be doing her operation this coming Thursday. He's happy. She's fed up with being in hospital already. I'm sure she is. Hospital sucks. Control A and Control D. Ah, well done, lad. Control A. Oh, look at that. Look at that. How do people on console use this thing if they don't have a keyboard? Apart from badly. Oh well. C thinks gameplay sounds still low. I can turn it up some more. Let me know how that is. This is better. 14 miles to Prestone. We're doing a fairly constant frame rate, 55 or so. That's respectable. Dropping down into the 40s on the odd occasion. It's fairly respectable. I'm happy with that. Oop, there was a yellow blip there, but that was probably just a standard Train Sim World judder. Meanwhile, in the ambassador chat, we're having quite an esoteric discussion about a signal that's on the Bourne end on the Marlow branch. And I look forward for the community having this discussion as well, because despite intense protestations, I think it's wrong. I am going to maintain that I think it's wrong. Yeah. Let's try and catch up again. Apologies, folks. Teesside Train watched this. I'm tilling in bed to a shit England side of 4-0 against France, and now it's 4-3. I have a gut feeling they're going to beat us. It does sound that way. They probably lost the plot since losing the big one, I guess. Useful Carmelo, new follower. Welcome along. You're doing a great job with Train Sim World. Look forward to future videos. Thank you. I hope you enjoy them. I hope you enjoy this one, despite me being a little ragged today. Just stuff going on. It's a combination of there's some events happening at work that could quite well impact my family, because I know I don't go much into the family, but my entire family work for the same organisation, and there are things afoot. But there are some other things too, some home things that are not related to people, they're related to the building. So there's a lot going on. And selling our old house at the same time. And of course on Friday my doctor said, hey, you need less stress or you're going to die. And I went, oh, that's nice. Let me see what I can do about that for you. Fun. Pull back a little on the throttle. Teesside Train watches both teams have missed a sitter. That's always funny in soccer, isn't it? Or as you call it, football, we call it soccer, because we have too many bloody games called football in Australia. There's at least 5 codes. But, you know, we do love our sports, the Aussies. This thing's bouncing like a pacer. It really is, isn't it? Wobble, wobble, wobble. Oh, back inside. Continue along towards Preston. Attempting to be magnificent. The referee has a cramp. I did see a local match where the female referee red carded her own husband, and I'm thinking, well, that's going to be a comfortable conversation at home. But I suppose, of all people, he has to behave better. Teesside Train Washer says you must win this. And you won't win 4-0 up to 4-3. Yellow signal. It's a distant yellow, so we'll just throttle off, and actually I might put a little bit of brake on. Just a little bit, because we are going downhill as well. If the next one's yellow, which it probably will be. I'm not actually watching it on the Xbox screen. I should turn that way and watch it on the Xbox screen. I'm trying to watch it on the OBS preview screen, which is like half the size of the Xbox screen. It's going to make reading signals a tad difficult, I think. Maybe when I approach signals, I'll look over there. No, I still can't read it there either. I can see it exists over there, but I can't see what it is. It's a single yellow. Good-o. We'll stay on the brakes then. Because the next one's probably red. Or a track change, or something exciting like that. Who knows? Who knows? Andy says he knew the keyboard controls because you can't do gear changes with your HOTAS on this for some reason, even if I map it. Yeah, well, it's mapped to the up and down D-pad, but behaves poorly. It's some weird combination of reverser and gears, so I suspect it's trying to do both at the same time, which it can't really. Hello, Rails. Welcome along. A penalty to England, Andy lad. Ooh. At least losing in the real time of the game is respectable. Losing in a penalty shootout rarely is. Can I see that signal yet? No. It's too far away. But I think we might release the brakes because we've slowed down a lot. We'll see how we go. We shall see. And he says, fingers crossed that the work stuff rolls in your favour. Ah, it's always fun. Syke says, oh no, the worst, reduce your stress like you can tell anybody else. Serenity now. Oh, well, I have got the holiday coming up. That will help. Although I'm going to need to resolve some shit before I go, or I'm going to worry about it for the entire trip. So, exciting stuff. It's all very exciting. Some of our house has been eaten. I've discovered that insurance doesn't actually cover you when your house is being eaten by something. Which is not exactly grand, because the shower and the walls and stuff we've pulled out so far are probably about 10 grand. And there's going to be more. I can feel it in my bones. Just getting the pest people in will probably be about more. Yeah, T-side trade watcher, drop the caps off, buddy. Yes, knock off the caps. There you go. And T-side, please behave. Because, you know, bad things happen. Still can't see the signal. Can't on the Xbox either. Is it red or yellow? Can't tell. I'm going to start slowing down more in case it is red. Oh, it's yellow. It's fine. It's all good. Probably second gear will do for this. It's very hard to do this on the preview window, but I don't want to turn sideways because people find it rude. Someone in the argument on the other Discord server is clearly watching this stream because I just said in there I'm not wrong. Awesome. That is so good. Come on, change gears. Don't just pretend to. There we go. There we go. T-sides, you say you were 13. If I understand the rules in the UK correctly, you're like Australia, aren't you? You can't actually use YouTube. Anyway, that's kind of your parents' problem. It is your problem if you have anger issues, T-side train watcher. You must control your anger. C is kind of a grown-up version of you. Kinda. So, you know, have some empathy for each other, boys. It's a good thing to have in this world. There's not enough empathy for other people. If you have severely bad ADHD, that is not an excuse for poor behaviour. ADHD people know right from wrong generally and can moderate their own behaviour. My youngest does. He's quite good at it. Most of the time. Oh no, we're neutral zone. Whatever will we do in a diesel? Nothing. Good. Norfolk Southern Rail fan says TSW6, and apparently it's your party. Okay. Party on, dude. That's a quote older than you. There you go. Be TSW7 soon enough. And no, I'm not leaking anything. I think we just all know, don't we? C says, I'm embarrassed to say it, but it took me a long time to understand how to drive this train. Don't be embarrassed to say that. It's one of the more complicated trains in the game. We're back on the yellows. And no AWS. That's interesting. Hey, we don't want a full application. We want a little application. Come on, little application, dude. That's better. I have to say this thing's not much fun driving it with a controller. I really have to say that. Psych says, group hug, kumbaya. Oh no, there's a Christian among us. Shoot him, shoot him. C says, I have ASD and ADHD. Don't use it as a get out of jail free card. That's very true. See, it is something that the individual can moderate when they choose to. So it's all about, and I grant you're young, T-side trained watcher, but it's all about recognizing the signs yourself and calming yourself down. And I'm not going to pretend to you that that is easy, but you will be able to do it. You will function fine. There are a great many ADHD people in the world, so it's cool. I think I saw some stats the other day, actually, that it's something in the well-researched numbers, it's actually something like 25 to 30% of the population is diagnosed, but it's probably closer to 50 that at least have some aspects and have never been diagnosed. Which is interesting. It means how abnormal actually is it? Not very. It's interesting. That last signal was green, wasn't it? I should speed up again. Are we going to get away with it in fourth gear? I don't know. Let's find out. We're going downhill. We probably will. Right now, the little gearbox is going. It'll be fine. Yeah, it's in the range. Look at that. Perfect. The right-hand gauge is the one that tells you the rev range. So if it was anything below that number, I'd have to change into third gear. We always coast in fourth gear in these. We accelerate up again. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to keep the tutorial I recorded yesterday for running the Marlow branch, or if I'm going to replace it, because I've spotted 2 mistakes in it. I'm thinking, do I keep it? Do I replace it? I might just record it again. But at least so far, you know, the proof's in the pudding. The performance has been quite good on this since the change. We haven't seen an awful lot of traffic, but we've seen some. So it's not a horrible timetable. Still on the greens. We will go back on the yellows soon enough, though, for the approach to Preston, no doubt. .64 now. Crazy. Game over. Good. T-Slide will calm down. Oops. Going too fast. It's probably a bit too much for sit about there if we can. That would be good. That'll slow us down. We're on the yellows coming in. Ooh, that took a little while to reset with the B button then. That took several presses. I thought the final was already decided. It was Argentina-Spain. Or did I get that wrong? Syke says, you know who is a good Preston? Billy Preston, when he sat in with the Beatles. Well, there you go. It's probably a little early for an opinion because this is the first time I've played it, Den, but we shall see, won't we? I have decided the 101's an utter bastard to drive on a console. And I hope the signal's not red because we're going straight through it. No, it's okay. They're facing away from us. It's fine. Nick says, well done England and France, glorious losers. Oh, is it the final for the loser? Like the runner-up final? Andy says they shouldn't be in the finals, they weren't good enough on the day. They choked it as usual when it mattered the most. See, this is for third place. Ah. Yeah, Spain, Argentina. That's what I thought. That'd be red, wouldn't it? Brakes, 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 brakes. More brakes. There we go. Plenty of brakes. I'll look up from the chat and go, red signals. Not good. Unless there's a shunt on there. Is there a shunt? No. No such luck. No getting shunted today. That's okay. We will sit here and wait. Even on the reduced timetable, you get stuck outside Preston. That's interesting. Why do I get notifications for that on my watch? That seems weird. Is there anybody moving down there? Are we waiting for oh, we're waiting for a platform that's got a train in it. Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense then. That's why the signal's red. Wonder if he's going to leave. What is he? I hate doing this on console. Stopped. Arrived at instruction. Get out of my platform. Get out of my platform. Now just make sure I get the right human. You come back when you've calmed down, T-side. Get out of my platform, train. Sigh. Why don't we have a fly around Preston while we wait then? Because that was one of the shitty areas. Oh, look, they've taken collision off all of the signal bridges. That's good. That's a good change. Oh, not that one. You know what's coming.
How dare you?
Smoky. It's a good thing this station's up high, because that would be covered in graffiti otherwise, no one watching it. What we got in there? Not much. Bit of the Royal Mail vans. Yes, I can see deleted comments. I can also undelete them. I can also see them in the audit log after his stream. Yes, it's a yellow van, my friend. You mark my words. It's always been a yellow van. Look at it. It's yellow. There's nothing about it. It's just yellow. I don't know what else I can tell you. I'm going to point at it again. See? It's a yellow van. Yeah, very good. It's a Gronk. Is this the platform we're supposed to come into? It's just got two coaches sitting in it? Or is it over here somewhere? It's not that one. That's too long. And that's got a noisy thing on the front. Ah, there's what we're waiting for. Are you leaving soon, buddy? You got a driver? Is that a driver? No, it's not a driver. Is it going the other way? It's still got its doors open. When does it go out? 10:59, so it's late. Huh. Whereas this one 11:06. We're not going to sit here and wait till 11:06. Has it even got a driver? Oh yeah, it's got a driver. Oh, there he goes. So he left late. Hmm. Oh well, back to ours then. Because our signal should come off now, shouldn't it? We'll do the right thing though. We won't release the brakes till it does. It just should. Hey Gav Photography, how are you? Morning. Dan, if you're brave enough, you could always gamble and delete the train from your platform. Oh, I could, but shouldn't need to, so... Oh, I didn't. Doop, 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 doop. Off we go. Slide on in. Maybe we're the 11:06. Maybe that's what it was. And he says, one day they will realise, see, what goes on the internet stays on the internet for life. Gav says, Tim and Benedict are throwing hands. I'm sure it must actually be quite difficult to be a game builder. Because everybody's a critic. I thought that was my AWS alarm going off then, and I acknowledged it. Now arriving Preston, which has performance in the high, what, mid to high 40s? That's all right. That's respectable from where it used to be. So I think they've done a little bit more than the timetable, I'm guessing. Doors. And we're not going to go anywhere else, but we'll be leaving this for the next driver, I assume, who will drive it on out of here. So I won't turn it off or anything. Ah, fun. Syke says express parcels might be pies. C says very true, Andy. I know I'm a bell end, but there was no need for the caps, and then moan me for language and swears multiple times himself. Yes, I did see that goings on. It just took me a little while to eradicate him. Because I have to be careful that I get the right person. Because, you know, I can time out someone, but I don't reckon they'd come back to the stream just quietly. I reckon they'd go, well, piss off then. Ah, return to timetable, of course. It's clearly Pride Month or something. They've picked all of the Pride livery screenshots they could find by the looks of it. Syke says, slide on into a pie. What kind of pie would it be? What are people's favourite kinds of pie? Oh, look, he's found a thing in the rulebook. I was talking about the other conversation. Sorry. I shouldn't really watch that. Andy says, I agree, C, can't moan, they are 13 and do not swear at them and then do it themselves. Yes, very much so. I don't think we'll do another 101 because it was a little unamusing. But what about a 20? And let's go the discs. And we got a decent length service. Parkside Colliery to Fiddler's Ferry. Driver's loaded coal train. Yeah, I think that would be fair. We'll do that one. We'll even leave dynamic weather on because, you know, we're trying out performance here. You're back, Teesside Train Watcher. And assume you've calmed down a little bit. You finally got your bank card. Yes, you're growing up a little bit. And just remember, I can see the comments that you delete. I get to continue to see them. It just says they've been deleted. But that doesn't really work. All right, let's go with a master key. And there's a AWS and a change ends, if I'm not mistaken, down there. So do that. Do that. Whack that. Some instrument lights on. Let's release the brakes and let's change to the other brake and apply it while we get set up. And we want to get into forwards, even though it looks like we're in engine only now. It apparently is actually forwards, so that'll be fine. And I think, I need a cab heater? No, probably not. I think you guys are warm enough. I don't think we need more heat in the UK right now. We don't need that on. Where's my headlights in this thing? Up there? Oh yes, we've got discs, don't we? So we shouldn't have switches for Marcus at all, because we're on discs. Oh, the other end maybe. The glorious sound of the Class 20. Oh no, it does still have marker lamps. Okay. Let's put some marker lamps on. Whoop. How's that look? They look red. Oh well, we'll go with it. That's fine. Let's get the window open. That's the most important control in the train. It's getting the window open. Right, are we ready to go? We have got a stop board in 4.3 miles. But we look pretty much right to go. Just checking the signal is at proceed. I think I might have to turn sideways, you know. Do you guys mind if I turn sideways? Let's release the direct brake, change back to the other one, and let's build some amps and get out of here. Or as Grumpy Englishman would say, get out of here, because he's in South Africa. Come on, you big Ferguson tractors, let's get out of here. You can do it. Lime pecan warm apple, says Syke. Gab says minced tomato and onion. Sounds quite interesting, actually. Andy Ladd says, I follow the games for your own express game you played Death on the Nile and the London Coast, just to let you know. I have got them. I have actually bought them, and I bought the predecessor as well. So I've got both. And I'm just going to come off the throttle because, or mostly off, because there's a big downhill thing coming up just ahead of us. So I don't want to speed up too much. I'm already doing 10. By the time we get to the downhill, I'll probably be doing 25. Looks like performance is still okay over here. As we roll our way uphill, proceeding to big downhill. At least it is if I remember it correctly. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. We'll see. If I'm remembering it wrong, it's okay. I'll forgive myself. At least a little bit. A beef tortilla drum Quebec. Beef pie. Sounds nice, Joshua. I personally think I'd go the cherry pie. Maybe this isn't the bit with the downhill section. Oh, let's put some power back on then. I thought it was, but I'm clearly mistaken. How big a pie, says Gav. Chicken pot pie, says Syke. Ooh, yes. And he says, can't say the best pie because I'll get timed out. You don't get timed out for language and creative use of it on my channel. The only thing you get timed out for on my channel is being abusive towards someone else and or trying to hide that you're a knob by deleting comments. Because you can't say stuff and then delete it because, yes, very much it is there forever. Maybe now we're going to come up to the downhill section. But anyway, we'll just keep it under control. We're not in a rush. We're here to enjoy the scenery after all. And the popping sound of the Xbox X. Crackle, snap, pop. Sounds like breakfast to me. Denodon123 says the Deepdale services on the regular timetable often have the Class 20 run long end first when I've driven it. Not sure if the reduced timetable has the same. Yeah, we'll have a look. I do like a 20. Is this the downhill bit? We've got one somewhere. But anyway, that's fine. Yes, this is the downhill bit. Let's come off the juice. Because we are on the downhill bit, and I don't want to speed up too much, which I'm going to do anyway, so let's have a little bit of break. We are ahead of a fitted train, I think, from memory. The 20 doesn't have the fastest brakes in the world, and I can tell you this is actually quite prototypical. They're very slow. And even though we're going uphill, I'm not coming off them just yet. I've seen the signal, I'll come off them now. We'll just let gravity overspeed us. It's all good. We're mostly under control. Mostly. It'll be fine. What could go wrong? Teesside train watcher is sick of carrying £20 notes. Weirdly enough, the only money in my wallet is actually Great British pounds from last year. I don't normally have any money in my pockets at all. But when you're overseas and you're this far away from your bank going, well, no, you can't talk to your account today, sir, because you're in another country, you always have a little bit of cash so that you've got enough for a meal or whatever while you argue with the bank to turn your card back on. Because my bank, I have two. One of them is excellent at protecting you and is really good at looking after you on a transaction by transaction basis, and they individually confirm every transaction that to them seems a little bit outside your normal pattern. And then there's my other bank that just goes, oh, I'll just turn his card off. It's like, no. Have to say hello to the signalman, we all know him. It's a little bit jittery there, but that's not too bad for an Xbox. 39. I think that's the lowest frame rate we've seen so far. I'm not too upset with that frame rate, to be honest. If it gets down below 30, it starts getting quite noticeable, but high 30s is alright. Interestingly, the human brain, when it's watching something like a movie, let's just go with that, the human brain only needs 28 frames per second. Ooh, we went down into the 20s there when I popped back over here, redrawing tiles. But when you're playing a game, it's desirable to have a few more frames than that so that you don't skip any. Because what happens in a game, if your frames are drawing too slowly, is each second can end up taking longer than a second, and Unreal will skip some. It's always a bit unpleasant when it does that. Joshua says his wife prefers strudel over pie. An apple strudel, perhaps? Always pleasant. I do like a strudel myself. Andy Lad says it's been really nice, 23 degrees today. Actually felt cold this evening for the first time in a month. Gab says, psych, made me want to buy a pie. Gav says, do it, no regrets. Yes, there's always room for pie. I have several pies stored in my driver's muscle. It's always the running joke in the cab of a steam engine that as a fireman you build up arm muscles, and as a driver you build up what we call the driver's muscle. And because I started my steam firing career, I already had a driver's muscle. It doesn't really go away. All fun. Michael Lay, hello. I haven't seen you for a little while on the stream. Psych says, we'll tell your mother we ate it. Yes, definitely eat the pie. Gobble the pie. Just realised we probably have to unload this train, don't we? Don't want to get there too early. The police are coming. Hello, Ian Bradley. To be honest with you, since the train started, I am a bit better. I didn't have much sleep last night because stresses over certain things going on. But having all of the people here is very helpful, I have to say. So thank you all. So he says, random question, does it charge you to get cash out while you're in the UK? Depends. So one of my banks has an arrangement with an English bank, and if I go to that specific bank's ATM and take it out of my savings account, no, it doesn't. But if I take it out of a credit card, yes it does. I get charged 2 different fees. If I'm paying for things by card, generally not. So if I pay for food with the credit card, for example, I don't have any fees on either of the accounts. You just get a conversion rate. The conversion rate's never very favourable. It's always in the favour of the bank, not you. So it's the worst one of the day, basically. But it's not intolerable. The hardest thing about the UK when you're buying stuff is, let's say you're going off, and I still haven't finished my coffee. That's sad, how sad I am. But you're going off to buy a cup of coffee. And in Australia, a nice espresso or a latte or a cappuccino or something like that, generally speaking, this sort of size is about $6. And you see in the UK that it's £6, and your brain says, that's just like the same at home. And you go ahead and buy stuff. But it's actually $12. It's double. So it's it's quite expensive in the UK, I have to say. But good lady wife, when she and I travel, usually have a breakfast wherever you're at, and eat breakfast and lunch, and steal anything you want, like extra bananas and apples and stuff like that. Always take my bag down to breakfast, and always take the fruit for later on in the day. And then lunch, usually on the way to the station or whatever, you pick up some supermarket sandwiches, because they're not particularly expensive usually, and often have a nice deal with a drink and a sandwich. And then later that evening have a proper dinner somewhere. But she's like me, she's equally happy to just grab food and eat in a hotel room over a restaurant. So we actually travel remarkably well together. But, you know, if we didn't know each other by now, we have been married 35 years, so... Well, 35 years this year, it'll be. It's not very far away, our anniversary. So if we didn't know each other by now, we should probably be a bit of a bastard. I do quite like this scene with the mentality of the canal engineers building a canal right next to a river. Teesside train watcher celebrating their first card use. C says, sent England for 98 joules. I still don't know how joules work. They're not actually turned on in Australia yet, so I have no idea about them. It's interesting that we're allowed to speed up to 40, but you have to stop in a mile, so, you know, that's not happening. Oh, actually, we can, can't we? Because we've got to go around that stupid great balloon loop now, I think. Where's zoom? I want to zoom out. That one. Yeah, we've got to go around the balloon loop. I will speed up. Okay. I forgot about the balloon loop. Apparently psych is a pie. Very good. Andy said, I've not had pie this evening, I had lemon cheesecake. I don't understand the cheesecake concept. And for whatever reason, it's in my head. Call it an ism that my brain will not let me eat cheesecake because it just sounds wrong. C sent a star for 2 joules. England 164. C loves a cheesecake, and the police are coming to investigate pie, of course. My wife said a comment about the best pie and just told me to grow up and act my age. Is that red? Is that red? No, it's okay. It's got a little one. It's got a little baby signal to go with it. But we will have to come off the power, I think, because we're about to go through a 15 curve and we're way over speed. Get on the incredibly slow brakes. Nothing much will happen. But we won't go hard on the incredibly slow brakes, because then lots of things will happen, and release now. We might just actually make it through at about the right speed. Might be a touch over, I think, but we're not going to be too bad. Looks like about 16 mile an hour. We'll go with that. That's alright. We'll go with 16, that's fine. No problemo. Psych says, will Sting be there? Teesside train watches mini cans of pop worth my mini fridge. Why do you have a mini fridge? My kids have a mini fridge, but you know, they're like 30 and 32 years old. You want a Greta? There she is. Hello, Greta. How are you today? Ian said, sorry to hear that, but glad you're feeling better. Oh, streams are always good, to be honest. I've always found, even on the days that I really don't feel like streaming, like this morning, because I had a very bad night's sleep, I only had about 3 hours sleep, that on the days that I've decided I'm not going to stream, and I just don't do it, you don't really get over it for the day. But on the days that you just get into it and do it, it's like most things in life. When you just get into it and do it, it turns out to be okay. And sometimes even better than okay. Hello, Daniel. How are you? Sorry, I didn't see your message for such a long time. Retro Stuff 90s. Hello. Shouldn't need reduced timetables. It's madness. You buy something, it should work. End of. I agree and I don't. It's a bit of both. I understand the feeling, certainly. But what I kind of think, because it's about physics, really. It's making everything the game needs fit in the small platform that is a console, or a potato PC for that matter. So perhaps what should happen is that there's a console version of the timetable where it's advertised, this is what the console version of the timetable is, this is how it's different from the PC timetable, and then you can make a choice. So where I don't agree with you is that there's a miracle way to make it fit in memory. But where I do agree with you is that you should know in advance. So yes, retro stuff, that's why I agree and don't agree. I certainly understand that not knowing in advance that you're getting a different timetable means that you haven't been given the choice to make that decision for yourself and decide what's okay and what's not. So chucking out a full timetable in the blind hope that maybe it'll work, and then finding out that it crashes things and blows stuff up, which I think would have been predictable anyway, surely. I think that's poor. So it should probably come out at the beginning that there's a PC version of the timetable, there's a console version of the timetable, and it's clearly documented what the different timetables are. In fact, I might put in a poll for that, actually, because let's see how people feel about that. So I've just popped that poll in there. Let's see how that goes. I am genuinely curious. And we've got a Joe in. Hello, British Ace. How are you? I'd better get it back to driving this thing, or we're just going to slow down and sit here for all the rest of the day. C says, on your 5th year of marriage in September. There you go. Yes, you definitely have to take her out. Absolutely. Andy will be his parents' 50th on the day of her operation. Had to cancel a holiday we're going on, and she can't do it anymore. Well, that's a bummer. And you're 23rd. Congratulations. And she hasn't killed you yet, which is a miracle. Oh, that's like mine. Yeah, the fact that she hasn't killed me is a miracle. Teesside Train Watcher has a mini fridge in the bedroom. Tell me, Teesside Train Watcher, who pays for the power for that fridge? Andy says, good idea, see, that'll guarantee you another 6 months of living. Indeed. Daniel, not too bad, thanks, was watching a bonkers game of football. Yes, quite a few of the people in the chat were. I can understand. I'm sort of, I'm torn a little bit between the two sides that are in the grand final, because I have quite a few Argentinian friends. But, you know, being a WOG, I should probably support the Euros. I'm a bit torn. We have the yellow signal, as if we didn't know we were going to have to stop at the stopboard. Should probably start doing something about that, I suppose, actually. Just start it, letting it slow down by itself. C says, if you don't hear from me after mid-September, it didn't work. Well, I hope to hear from you mid-August, C. We should talk more about that too. I'll set that up. Actually arrange something. That's terrible, isn't it? Syke says, and the reduced price. Well, that's an interesting question. I might do that as a second poll. Should it be a different price? Because it does look like... Now, I don't know how many people have actually voted in the poll, but it does look like that there's a majority on the OK side. So why don't I stop that one and I'll ask the second one about price. Reduced TT on console be less money. I'll just keep it simple. I was going to say how much, but I'll just keep it simple. Let me just get ready to actually start stopping this thing, because I've got a stopboard to stop at soon. Retro Stuff says you've nailed it, to be honest, and that answer re-advertising timetables gives the consumer a proper choice. Yeah, I think that is quite necessary, and I think quite a few of your ambassadors have actually made that feeling pretty well known in the ambassador chat. That's not going to tell you anything will change. That's a business decision. British A says, all good. Been on the steamers recently. I have, but not as much. So there are things happening at Puffing Billy that means that for the month of August I pretty much got ignored for shifts, but there's only 6 volunteers now. So I'm not actually that surprised. Now, the game doesn't actually make you stop at these stop boards. But, you know, they're called stop boards, so we should at least try, even if we're going to slide straight past this one. Oh, and you can do it, train. You can do it. I have confidence in you, little 20. You can do it. Yes, okay. Now, technically, we would at this point contact the signaller, but the reality is, we'll just go to the next stop board. And we'll watch for juices. As we skull drag the train with its brakes still on. Oops, and now we have to stop again. The next stop board. But this time we have to set up for slow speed running as well, if I can remember how to do it. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. Yes, just slide straight past the board, that'll be fine, no one will mind. It's fine. While that's happening, let's go to engine only. And let's go to SS1, I think we'll get away with that. That's the faster version. And I think we have to do the other switch over here, don't we? Slow speed control on? No, not that one. That one. Two. We've got 2 engines. Right. Brakes off. Throttle on. Throttle slow speed position. That should get it. Nice. Right, I'll go this way then. Oi, don't throw me out the door. We will be choking these poor bastards in a moment. I did take the brakes off, didn't I? I think. Yeah, I did. It'll move eventually. Sooner or later. We have no amps. Oh, you know why? I'm a donkey. Do you know why we have no amps? Because I didn't put it back in forward. So it was just making lots of noise and nothing else. There we go. There we go. When you stop driving like an idiot, it works better. Right, here we go. We're going to stink the lads out of their shed. And that's okay. Hello, Richie Rail. British Ace, a fantastic mix of genetics. You've got Joe and Richie at the same time. It's actually kind of impressive. Ian says, off to bed. I've had a few bad nights' sleep. I know that feeling very well, my friend, so I hope you get a better one tonight. C says, my personal life is reduced, should also come with reduced prices, only fair. Oh, that's fine, mate. Perfectly okay. Looks like it's a pretty overwhelming yes, too. Yes, here comes Greta.
How dare you?
Oh, come on, lady, it's in a shed. Live with it. Richie says, I've just posted about the 11s and sent a little graphic on Discord. Well, there you go. If you get really excited, you can make graphics for my other meetups if you want to. It's perfectly valid to have that view, see? Not a problem at all. Should turn on that just to make sure they unload. I love these two down here having a conversation next to a couple of Class 20s that are grizzling their way through the shed. We're a bit loud at the moment, lads. I don't think you could hear anything. I can barely hear anything. Teesside Train Watcher, good night, mate. Andy said, I thought it was SS2 if you have two locos, the 1, 2 and 3 of speed. I thought it was the other way around. What speed are we doing? Alright, wrong button. We are... Where is my low speed thing? Yeah, I think you're right. Yes, I think you're probably right. So let's change it to... 2 locos. This will probably explode because I didn't do it with engine only. And let's go 1. No, that's slowing down. Wow, that's really going for it. I think that'll be a bit much. See how that goes. Are they empty? Oh, no, we didn't completely empty because, you know, I went through a bit quick with some of them. Never mind, we'll pretend it's okay. We'll just pretend it's fine. Yeah. We're just going to pretend it's fine, Mr. Blue Eyelashes. Why? Why does he have blue eyelashes? What about you? What have you got? Yep, you've got blue eyelashes too. It must be a coal dust thing, surely. Yep. We're going to pretend that we're actually unloading all the coal, and we're just going to go back to our locomotive with the right keyboard and go, yep, we'll just mosey on around here and just pretend it's fine. So, it'll be all good. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Hello, Pete. How are you? I think 2 is for 1 mile an hour. I think you're right. Let's go up that end. And let's go onto that one. And let's turn that off so it's not as embarrassing. And we'll just pretend it's good. We can sit here at the keep crossing clear. In fact, if I position that properly, I can put Purple Pussy in the crossing for a future short. Wouldn't that be funny? Probably not. Andy says they went to a punk concert last night and forgot to take their makeup off before going to work. That is possible. I once did the official photography when I bothered doing things like that for a punk band called GBH when they came to Melbourne, and they played in a very small bar. And it was quite an experience. I was up near front of stage for a lot of it, and then I went to the back. Getting to the back was relatively easy to get some shots from there, but getting back up to the front was actually very difficult, and I ended up having two bouncers have to help me get back up to the front. Does this cabinet have its doors open? It does. It needs to be fixed. Well, you know what that means. That's not putting brakes on, is it? Is it putting brakes on? Oh, god damn it. Did. Fine. I must have turned on DSD or something stupid. Never mind. Yep. Unloading's fun, really. Honestly. Psych wants a pie fight, apparently. Cream pie. I should actually find my meetups thing, shouldn't I? Where is my meetups thing? Let's get into that thing. Because I should tell you when they are. I hope this is the right version that I'm about to copy. I should drop off this poll too. I think that's been a rather overwhelming yes to that one. So I think the vote has spoken. And it ended twice. Excellent. I'll pass that back in to DTG. I can't imagine they don't know that, but I'll pass it in anyway, and I'll do a little write-up for it, because I think that's a good thing to do. Hello, bad guy. How are you? Welcome along. You'll no doubt be getting Train Sim World 7 and installing it on the first day and getting the deluxe edition. No. The answer to your question of what's happening right now is I'm messing up the unloading of some coal, but that's fine. We're just pretending it's okay. Michael, very, very excited about bad guy there. Oh, what's happened? What's happened? What's happened? I don't know what happened. It's got the brakes on. Am I not in the chair anymore? It feels like I'm in the chair. Did it get a vigilance or something? What happened? Got a fault. I don't know. Well, since we messed up the unloading anyway, why don't we just play something else? Bad guy says, "No, not for me this time. I'm going to take a hard pass. I think I'm kind of done with some of the crap coming out of Dovetail." It's fine, mate. Yeah, I think DSD did bite me, Andy Led. I think it did. Bad guy says, "Been very busy, doing better now. Life is taking me in all sorts of different directions. Out of town for 5 weeks, been dealing with different scenarios. It's been interesting to say the least." That sounds familiar. Maybe I did trigger the emergency brake. I don't know. But we're not going to find out because that would just take precious minutes and who really cares? Who really cares? Not me. Not today, anyway. East Coast Mainline Crewe Preston. Why has my heater just gone berserk? It's like it's just ramped up to nuclear. I think... Do I dare do a tap changer? Yes. Let's do one. What do we got? Something early in the morning would be nice. Or maybe, early in the morning. Let's go with... That's a Dagenham service, container service from Basford Hall to Weaver Junction. That sounds good. We'll even leave dynamic weather on, even though it's been clear for the entire time. I'm sad that your back still hasn't recovered, Michael. It's a bit shite. Switching to my cold tea now. Wait a moment. No, I refuse. I'm going to set this thing up if I can remember how. No, don't drive. Wow, that was weird. Is this another one that doesn't work properly with controller? Because I went to press up on the D-pad and it started to drive and go to forwards at the same time, which is a bit weird. Cab light? No, we don't need a cab light. We will want to take the brakes off and get them to start charging. And we're on the flat, but I think I'll put the independent on anyway, and we'll do that, and we'll do some headlights and safety systems. Where are safety systems on this thing? Instrument light switch bright, that'll do. Are they up there? Oh, there we go. We get out of the chair, don't we? That one. That one. Where's the horrendous button? Oh, fine. Alright, it did eventually work. There should be something for DSD too, shouldn't there? I assume. Switch somewhere or something? Somewhere? Is it that one? No. Oh well, we'll just go with the flow. It'll be fine. So we're in a beast. I actually don't think I've driven this since I did a tutorial for it, so we'll see if it explodes. Does it look okay on the outside? Let's have a look. Oh, it's a double header. I've got a big train. Alright then, let's make this happen. Ooh, blurry textures already, that's not a good sign. Alright. Brakes off. And let's... notch up. Just run it up a little bit. Alright, let's just keep it there in the yellow. Keep it at hold. That's looking promising. Should probably blow the horn, but I'm just amused enough that I'm actually getting it to work. Right. Oh, thank you, bad guy. Bad Guy says, I've been around for a while. Is that purple cat in the corner a new thing? Neat. Purple Pussy. Purple Pussy's even got her own YouTube channel, Purple Pussy Plays, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I have grand plans for my own amusement, but, you know, nothing yet. Uh-oh, going too fast. We'll just pretend going straight to off is fine. Surely it's fine. Whee! Grind through the junction. We'll just pretend this speed's acceptable. And he says DSD is in the engine room. Oh yeah, that's right. You got to press on the ears or something. That's all right. Who needs points? Michael says, no, it's not been fun. Been over a week and still dealing with some discomfort. I wish that the cat did run around, Bad Guy, but no, the best I've been able to make it do. Oh, I just realised why I got emergency braked before. I almost did it again then. I accidentally typed something into the YouTube chat because I was using the wrong keyboard, because I have two keyboards here, one for the Xbox and one for the PC, and I backspaced on the wrong keyboard. That's what happened before, I think, when in the coal loading. I think I put the emergency brakes on myself. But no, all the cat does is it watches me through a second camera and it talks when I do. And in theory, it blinks when I do, but I'm not quite convinced on that. I don't think sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. I think maybe it gets confused by the glasses. But it's always good to have a little local AI watching you all the time. I mean, but he's a local one. It's running on my computer. It's not on the interwebs. We're only doing double the speed limit. What could go wrong? Seems fine to me. I don't have an issue. Do you have an issue? Surely not. Michael says, thank you, exactly what I've been doing, and do it the stupidest way. If you can make it happen, Michael, with back issues, depending on what your doctor says, some very gentle exercise can actually be a good thing. Lying in bed's probably the worst thing you can do for yourself. But do consult your doctor, because it depends what kind of injury you've got, whether it's a good idea or not. Bad Guy says, I think you're training it as your replacement. This is going to become a cat-only channel, isn't it? No, I don't think that'll happen. But that's the idea of Purple Pussy Plays, is that might be a cat channel. Cats that drive trains. We'll see. I was just contemplating it for amusement. We're in the dark. It must be a bloody long train, because we've been out of the 15 zone for ages now. It's alright, gravity will bring my speed under control now. It'll be fine. Oh, good.
Refilling your tea? You want to refill on your tea?
No, it's still kind of full. Not my signal. Good. pop into the cab and see a red and go, uh-oh. Because I have got them turned off on the HUD, which means I need to pay a little bit more attention than in the past. And he said if it's sciatic and seeing a physio for some simple exercises is the best thing to do. Definitely agree with that, Andy. Even if it's a other kind of muscular injury, getting some exercises developed and potentially having some manipulations done can be very helpful. Ooh, almost went into red then. There we go, riding the giant Hoover. And we have a neutral zone coming up, so I had better run down before we get popped. I did that just in time, I think. That was very good timing. There we go. I'm just going to close this window actually, because I'm not actually a fan of the noise of the Hoover. I'd rather be a little bit quieter, to be honest. It's the same with the 90. I think if I was a driver of such beasts, I'd be wearing earphones for protection, because they're quite loud. Michael says where it hurts most right now is lower mid to right side of my back. Have you, well, I assume you've been to a doctor, but discuss whether you should get some physio or even chiropractic. Chiropractic if it's bones, physio if it's muscles. Because they could give you a gentle exercise regime that will suit your injury. Because muscular injuries, even though it can really, really hurt, the best way to repair muscular injury is actually to hurt them more. Because what happens when your muscles are hurting is they do this, they spasm. And they may not recover from that by themselves terribly well. The worst muscle to break in the human body is in fact that one. Been there, done that, spent 2.5 years sitting on a donut. All I can say is, don't be constipated and sneeze at the same time. Michael says, haven't been to the doctor, just doing what is the most suggested way. I would definitely go to the doc, mate. Yeah, we've got a... Why are we making that noise? That's a weird noise. Still got power on though, and I'm nowhere near 70. What a weird noise. It's rather unpleasant. Oh! My elbow was on the keyboard. What a dickhead. Yep. I'll wear that. This one is my fault. Here. This guy. Just keep on the tiniest bit of power. I'm hovering right on the speed limit at the moment. Ooh, we're allowed to do 75. But I'm just going to sit on this low power for now, as we head for Weaver Junction. I understand why it's very tempting to do the Dr. Google thing, Michael. Healthcare in Canada and the US is not that affordable. Yeah, we have a 50 zone coming up. I should probably do something about that. Sound on the Xbox really is a bit unpleasant, isn't it? I think I'm going to get down to 50 in time. Be a little bit close, but I think I'm going to do it. Maybe not. Oops, leaning on the horn again, like a dickhead. You'd think I'd learn, wouldn't you? There we go. Brakes off. Let me move the TSCX back, and then I can move the keyboard back, and then I can lean on the desk without leaning on the horn. That's better. Through the gap. Made it. Where are the people? That's Harry Potter with a ponytail. And there's two of him. He has been duplicated. Ooh, blurries. We don't want to see blurries. No blurries. The whole idea of a reduced timetable is to have no blurries. We unleash the small army of mosquitoes out the back. So we start accelerating back up. We are certainly seeing a lot less opposing traffic. There we go, we're on max power. Max Headroom's cousin. I do maintain to this day what is the quickest way to get someone around a railway to do nothing. Put them in an orange vest. Michael says, we have a good Medicare system in Canada, just have to take a very expensive day off work. Do look after yourself, Michael, because you've only got one spine. It's even louder out there. Like angry mosquitoes. Just calm the farm on the mozzies. She is down to 0. Looks like the opposing trains might be short too. Oh. Gratuitous bridge shot, always hard on console. Got it. Ooh, Freightliner. Branded stuff. What? Branded stuff? Can't have that. Hey, look, it really is apple juice. The sound on Xbox is a little, yeah. Just a little, isn't it? I think after this run we might do something with maybe a 47 and some passenger if there is something. And that might be it for today, I suspect. I think good advice there, Andy. "3 miles to the Great Weaver. They will weave you a sock. That sock will be named Tim." Yeah, the sound is a bit weird on the Xbox version. On the PC version it's not unpleasant, but on the Xbox it is a little unpleasant. You don't notice it so much in the diesels, but the whiny vacuum cleaner style locomotives certainly bring it out. So Thames Valley is out on Tuesday, 3 little mini routes. I was dubious about little mini routes, but I'll tell you I'm warming to it. I'm going to re-record my tutorial, I've decided, because I was watching it back last night and I had in fact made 2 mistakes, and they're the kind of mistakes that would maybe trip people up, so I want to fix it. Or at least repeat the same mistakes and explain what I'm doing to fix it. That might be an idea, because it'll happen to people. That might be a good idea, actually. I might do that. I'm probably going to get a feather, but I have to assume that the signal that's coming up is red and stop rather violently. I think the one thing I'd say, which wouldn't be reveal anything because we've all seen it on the previews, is that for me, I would have liked to have actually had the West Coast Main Line there, even if it only had something like a simple timetable with 350s just shuttling up and down between the endpoints of those stations. So you could act out being a driver on one of them and then catching a service train to get to the next one because you're going to be driving a shift on the next one, and then doing the drive for the next one, and then do a ride along for the one after that. It's quite a nice bridge, this one. But thinking about it, we should probably sit on the other side where the sun is, because that would be better. And I'll see if I can see what that signal is. That looks like it might actually be red. Better jump back in the cab, I think. Is that red? Nah, it's fine. It's yellow. It's all good. Back to the gratuitous bridge shot, which does actually look quite nice, I have to admit. Don't think I've got any brakes on anymore, no. We'll just keep rolling into our stopping point, since we are quite a long train. Nice bit of river down there. Just Trains do a nice river, I have to say. For all the stuff that they screw up that people completely forgive them for, they do nice stuff too. Gav says you mean the Great Western Main Line. Yes, sorry. Yes. Yes, I do mean that. Yep. But anyway, it would be nice, I think, to have them actually joined up. Not to drive between them, but to ride as a passenger to go to your next service. Because you can just hop in the cab with the driver, although I don't know if they do that in the UK. They don't do it that much here anymore on suburban stuff. On freight they still do. Someone who's a driver on either the V-Line or Metro networks could quite happily just hop in the freight cab and be welcome. I know on Metro services they don't allow that anymore. And on V-Line operated Metro services they don't allow it either. They don't want their drivers distracted, which I suppose is understandable. Just give it a little bit of power to roll us in, since we're uphill. You certainly wouldn't be accelerating hard knowing that you're going to stop. What is that signal? It's not a signal, is it? No, it's a cabinet. Who puts red cabinets beside the tracks? Bad call. Bad call. But anyway, I will be streaming that tomorrow night. My time, so 10 AM British Standard Time. 7 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. And tonight we're doing the Horseshoe Curve. And we're going to do one scenario called Minor Inconvenience, which I happen to know takes a while. So we're just going to do the one. Oh, joy, a neutral zone. Just what we want. So let's come off the juices now. We'll just roll the rest of the way in. Gab says, some of our services we have with Queensland Rail, the driver gets in the rear cab with the guard on a 3 or a 6 car train, uses the other cab. Yeah, it's fair enough. I suppose it doesn't matter so much if you distract a guard. But distracting a driver is a little bit of a different deal. If you've seen Buzz around, she hasn't been fed. Cass and Nuisance have. It'll get there. It'll get there. Oh, I think I'm going to have to power on again. Because if I don't, we're never going to get there. Anybody got a good 47 run to do? Gab says, some days I've seen 3 or 4 drives in a cab together. That could happen. I think that used to happen a little bit too much in Metro, which is why they knocked it off. I wonder how much the manufacturer of my wife's chair that keeps appearing behind me paid NVIDIA to make it turn up in the background removal tool. I wonder. Yeah, the whole chair turns up if my head's not in the way. It's weird. That's, I don't know if you can hear her or not, but that's the other half sitting behind me, preparing for her Sunday morning enjoyment of gaming as well. Did you see the email I sent you at 3:30 in the morning?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cool. So not doing anything is the right thing till we get it treated. There's a little red signal up there, 200 odd yards away, and I think we're going to die before then. Much as it pains me to run up again. Oops. What's she going to be playing today? Right now she's scrolling through stuff, but probably Warcraft would be my bet. That's the most... Yeah, she's going to get into World of Warcraft. That is the most common game she plays, I think. Probably the only one these days, isn't it? Sims. There you go. Not train sims, though. The Sims. Maybe she could run the Purple Pussy Plays channel. People totally get the wrong idea of that. You want to get to the end of the run quickly, but, you know, you don't want to run through the red. Yeah, just don't. We're not going to get there, are we? Damn gradients. There is one improvement they made to this that the 86, I think it was the 2, the first one that came out, didn't have. And that's the, it pauses a little bit before it goes to off. You have to hold it down longer. Nearly there. And he says his daughter plays The Sims, can spend hours on it. Yeah, you can certainly get wrapped up in those games. But then again, you can get wrapped up in this game too if you try hard enough. So as someone who actually drives trains, I would be stopping about here. This is getting uncomfortably close to a red signal and still having to be powering up. He's a bit cray-cray. You just wouldn't chance a spad unless you knew your train was ridiculously long. There we go. What did I get? Glod. So even I can't see it on the preview screen. Only a Glod. Oh yeah, I didn't turn on DSD, did I? I got points for using safety systems though, but only one of them. Okay, that's fine. And it's that button to continue because it's under the cat. Let's find something 47-ish, I think. How's the temperature on the Xbox going? Oh, it's a little warm. Turned into a room heater. And the PC's having got an easy day of it today because it's got bugger all to do. Real soon now. Real soon now. Any second. Oh. All right, let's go find something 47-ish, shall we? 47.3, 47.4. Let's go to 4. Just to be different. Let's go a stripy one. From Hip. Oh, they're all very short or very, very long. Is there anything in the middle? There's a 45. Let's do that one. 6:08 in the morning. Glasgow Central to Crewe. That's a full run. That one. Let's get into it. Let's get it on. I think I mentioned it before, but tonight will be Horseshoe Curve and the scenario Minor Inconvenience. Because I thought I'd chuck one out for the Americans, because why not? All right. Headlight. Let's put on independent. Let's release the train brake. Let's get that started. Ah, it's a cat jumping on the table. I wonder what all the noise was. There's some switches around here I have to do somewhere, aren't there? No. No. Maybe it is that one. We'll make sure that's not tail lights in a moment. And I think there's a DSD that you can't turn on there. So that clearly hasn't actually turned on AWS, has it? There must be a switch somewhere as well. Unlock doors, let's get that happening. Let's go find this. There must be a switch or something somewhere that I have to turn on. No, none of those. Oh, that's supposed to be down, isn't it? No? Unisolated. And that one's on. Why haven't I got the noises? Let's go see what the other one's set to. Can I go in? Off. That's down, so that should be okay. There must be a switch up the other end somewhere. Or one up this end. Hmm. Cab changeover switch. I thought I did that though. Yeah, that's on. That's unisolated. Is there a switch under there? No? Tail lights, desk lights. Well, we'll do it the easy way. That's DSD. I heard the big clunk. Why aren't we getting sounds? We may just have to go with it, I think. Yeah, master key and reverser are both fine. I don't know. I think I've done what I usually do to make this loco work, but clearly she doesn't want to. No, well, we tried. We tried. Hope that's not my red signal. I don't think so. I think we're okay. Prepare for spad in 3, 2, 1, now. Nah, all good. Off we go to Wigan of the North. Full bananas on everything. Sounds like AWS is working. It didn't quieten it down much when I shut the window, did it? Never mind. Got the half ton up. These bridges have collision on? Yeah, they haven't had the changes yet. One of the optimization changes is getting rid of collision on things like this. Because the less things that have collision, the less the machine has to think about. And after all, there's not a lot of point having collision on something that a player is about 99.99999% unlikely to ever walk over. Because you can't get there anyway. It's the same with the posts. They've started removing collision off some signal posts and things like that. But I think removing it from the overhead stanchions would probably be a good idea too. Because, you know, who would really care if you could walk through them? Or maybe you put it on the ones that are in yards and not the others. I see there's a little bit of chatter about train strikes too in the UK. I hope that gets resolved. Not a fan of rail replacement buses much. Interesting little track here off into the plant. It's one of the things you look at and you go, there would be some fun freight opportunities with that. Whack. Still rolling on. We might actually get up to 95 by the time we get to Wigan. Maybe. Neutral zone, don't care. And he said, not heard about that. Who's supposed to be striking now? Drivers for Avanti, LNER, and I forgot who the other one was. And I know MMR has just gone on to a reduced timetable to meet the availability of their rolling stock, because the 810s keep breaking down, so they're starting to run the older stuff. Seems like Hitachi haven't quite managed to perfect the UK yet, despite having so many 8X machines available. Gav says, Transim World Rail Replacement Service, and Paul's driving. But, you know, that would actually be really funny if you turned up to drive a train and there was a board on the platform that said, go drive the bus. There's no cross-country in this trip, Gav. I've avoided them. On one of the runs where I had a choice, I went to NTP instead. And learning from last year when I had some ticketing issues, I've booked everything by finding the trains on National Rail, so I can find a reasonable combination, and then booking them through the actual provider's website. Which means I miss out on the discounts of some split fares and things like that, because none of the providers' websites, it's not in their interest to issue you split saver tickets, so they don't. I think the only provider that offered me one was TFW. And even then we're running off peak, so we'll get the normal ticket. Because I don't have to worry about being on specific trains then. If we miss one, it doesn't matter. We just ride the next one. Because at least with an advanced signal, it doesn't actually matter which train you're on. No one seems to care. Gab says, you mean they can be on strike? Well, it'd actually be good if cross-country went on strike, because that would be more bandwidth for the other operators, wouldn't it? That'd be good. Andy says, let's be honest, no one would notice any difference if cross-country went on strike. Yes. It'd be none of their trains versus half of their trains cancelled. Or all of their trains cancelled versus half. I don't think we're going to get to the speed limit before we get to Wigan. It's an interesting building, isn't it? I wonder what manufactory this was in real life. It's unbranded here. But it certainly looks... It's either a factory or a school. I'm guessing factory. So far, I think the answer with the reduced timetable is it's done the trick with memory, because the Xbox is coping quite happily with everything, but there's certainly less going on. You don't see as many trains, which is disappointing from a rail fan perspective, I guess. Gab says we won't get to the speed limit until we get to Harry. We'll just pick her up on the way through. Just give her a call now and go, meet me at the station, Harry. And she'd go, piss off, I'm having a weekend. Be back up to normal speed in just a moment. So on this route, sometimes they have the 80s version of the TSR signs, and sometimes they have the modern version, which is weird. How does that even happen? Pete says, added a mod to West Coast Mainline South and finally got the clock tower in Harrow and Wheelstone Station. DTG left it out. Bugger. I'm not a fan when big landmarks get left out, the ones that people really do look at, because people like me never see it, never know, probably never care. But local people who travel through the region all the time, it would stand out like a bulldog chasing a girly dog on heat. need lots of brakes, don't I? She's not slowing down much at all. Full service. That's having more of an effect. Ah, so it doesn't... Oh, it does partially release. Way too much brakes. Should have just been patient. It would have been fine. JF Train Spotter, welcome along. Just came back from watching a movie, Odyssey. Ah, nice. Welcome back. As we arrive into the domain of the Harry. I know the game doesn't really do it, but I've taken to holding the brake in the overcharged position like I do on my railway in the real engines, because just, I think I should. Even though the game doesn't really care. I have all layers enabled SF Train Spotter, and I have got all UK content. I've got about 100 and something DLCs loaded up currently. Installed. The only UK one I haven't got installed on the Xbox right now is Thames Valley, because I'm not allowed to use it yet. Oops, stopping a bit early. Let's move before it goes, oh, you stopped early. I'm happy with 10 yards, that'll do fine. Look at our blurry 47611. Well, it's not really blurry, it's just got poor anti-aliasing, I suppose. Psych says premature stopping. Yes. SF Train Spotter says, alright, thanks. I'm playing an Xbox Series S and I'm playing a reduced timetable with most layers actives and it's running pretty good. Well, that's good news. Check this signal, shouldn't I? No, there isn't one, it's fine. That actually looks quite nice with the sun on it. I've been known to sit on train platforms to get shots like this. But before I do it, I always face the driver and get their attention. Just so they know I'm not going to do something stupid. Gasometer? Don't see many of them these days. Power station, I'm guessing. cruising to Crewe now, a 32-mile hop. That shouldn't take too long. I think I pasted up my meetup things. SF Train Spotter says, saw Richie Rail's post about the NRM, unfortunately going on the 8th. Well, not unfortunately, mate. Go there on the 8th and enjoy yourself. Should be quite cool. But thinking of my meetup, so on the 11th of August, there's the NRM. 16th of August, North Yorkshire Moors, Gromont with a train to Whitby and return. 24th of August, Vestiniog Boston Lodge tour in the morning. And on the 31st of August, Weatherspoons at Victoria Station on the public holiday. Less trains, more beer. And Gav has an old gasometer. And if you want to come along to the meetups, let me just get a link to the post. Because the post has a bit more information on it. And just get the right thing. And view my channel. There. Accelerating nicely still. Posts. I get a link to the post. I do ask people to fill out a form for if you want to come to one of the meetups. Even if you're expressing interest, just pop in the form, because you don't have to come if you put it in. It's just that I want to know about who's coming so I can do any last minute comms if anything changes. You know, if a train happens to be on strike or something and I can't get to where I'm supposed to be, I want to let people know. And also to make sure that if a lot of people are going to come, which I would be surprised, but if more than a few are coming, then I need to probably work with the venues. And he says, wonder if you get to 95 by the time you get to Crewe. 30 miles. We were almost doing it for the Land of Harry. Almost. So you never know. We might. So that link will take you off to the post for the meetups. It's got a little bit more information about each of the meetups, and there's a form. It does collect your email, just letting you know. I will not sell, give away, or keep it. So after the trip, I will delete the spreadsheet that has people's responses in it. It's just to help us get in touch if we need to. I will also post details of each meetup as we come to it on my Discord. But it would just be handy to have people register so that I know if there's many coming along. So far it looks pretty manageable. And if none of those meetups suit you, let's have a chat behind the scenes. So I am meeting a couple of people separately, close to where they reside. And if anyone cares to be interviewed, we can do that too. The purple cat will haunt you via the email. I could do that. There's a lot of bespoke assets on this one. I quite like that. We've made it to 80 and we've only got 27 miles to go, so we might actually get to 95, you know? Maybe. We are downhill for a while. There's some tall things on the horizon there. Is it really an 80 zone? Oh no. let me show you how much I care about that. I'll slow down for the next one since I'll actually know about it. Oh no, it's gone. Just give our ears a brief reprise. Syke says, get a domain name with the purple cat and we'll all buy email addresses. That would be kind of amusing, wouldn't it? I could always register a business in that name. I could almost guarantee you it doesn't exist, or if it does, it's a brothel. Ah, the power station cooling towers now have steam. "24 miles to cruise missile." Oh, I'll have to slow down again. Gav says Andy would like to be Mike Myers with his kitty cat in his lap and having a bald cat being mischievous. Or I could always use our little white cat that I alternatively called Labubu and Musance. Flour mill, maybe? Looks kind of flour millish. Or maybe refinery? Andy says, don't need a bald cap. Got that part covered, unfortunately. Perhaps that's uncovered, Andy. There was a power station train back there. Possibly the one we were driving earlier, given the time. It's the Lever Brothers Soap Factory. Ah, cool. Is that other bridge up there a lift bridge? The big white one. Ooh, that took a while to resolve the blurries there. Maybe you get her another keyboard to put her head on. You tried that? The cat's sleeping on her keyboard. I've just passed some sheep. Not this side. What do you think of the reduced timetable? $19 miles to Crewe. We've almost hit 90. Almost. Just hovering around 85. She hasn't quite got the beans to get us up to full speed. Andy reckons could always tell when you were approaching Warrington as you could smell the factor on the approach, that weird strong detergent smelling in the air. So Warrington must be really clean then. The exact opposite of Swindon. Although parts of Swindon were really clean, but not all of it. field of canola flowering over on the right there. We've almost made it to 90. Almost. Downhill with a tailwind, we may actually hit the speed limit before we get to Crewe. Maybe. '92. Going uphill again. No, Warrington was a dump. It just smelled clean. Yep. Yep. I can see that. We're managing to hold on to the 90 through the snap, crackle and pop of the Xbox sounds. I think the Xbox is probably just playing the sounds through an appropriate 80s FM radio, which has got the snap, crackles and pops from the overhead power lines, perhaps. So not too long till we get to Crewe. Tonight will be Horseshoe Curve with a scenario called Minor Inconvenience. I'm only planning the one scenario tonight because it's, I think it says it takes an hour and a half to play it, but I'm pretty sure I've played it before and it takes more like 2, so we'll just do the one. And tomorrow night will be Thames Valley, which I need to get some more experience with today because I've only done the Mellow Braid so far. I need to do some of the others, so I'm used to it for tomorrow. Do I still have some brakes on? Shouldn't have. Does kind of look that way, doesn't it? Let's see if the... No, the independent brake's got nothing. Brake pipe's properly charged up. But I do agree it looks like there's a little bit on the bogie, which is a bit weird. Bug. I can try and overcharge the brake pipe, but if that worked, it would be a bad idea. Little man in a van back there. Look at that, 92.5 miles an hour. We've almost done it. We've only got 11 miles to get that next 2.5 miles an hour. Can we actually do it? Can we do it? It could actually be that this thing does implement overcharging, in which case it could end up having the brakes on slightly. But she's not behaving like she's got brakes on it. She's just rolling pretty freely. 95! We've done it! We've actually done it! And now I've just got to hold it. No, that's already slowing down. $10 miles to go. did indeed making it, but not for long. She's losing it already. Just that brief moment. I shouldn't have gone off the throttle. Probably would have stayed. This is a good old unit. I like sitting out there visually, but it's just too unpleasant from a sound perspective, so I'm going to stay in the cab. Looks like there's 0 people in the reduced timetable. Well, not quite 0. I've seen a few, but not a lot. Few little canal boats back there. I contemplated renting a canal boat for this trip, but too many things, too little time. Canal boat tricks take a really long time. That was almost a haiku. It's a depressing thing that 2 weeks I go on my trip and in 6 weeks I'm back at work. Still on the greens, but I expect that to change as we approach Crewe. And interestingly, we don't have a stop time in the service. It's just whatever time we get there. I'm not going to do tonight's run on the Xbox. I'll use the PC for it because American brakes being what they are, and it being a downhill fully loaded coal train, which I think's only got 2 engines on it, which is not enough for dynamics. I'm going to be on and off the air brakes constantly. I won't be wanting to use a controller for that. I've organised with TS Controllers guy to collect a PVC Pro and a flexi brake from him at the event that I'm going to that he will also be at. So that'll be fun. And it's not some kind of weird streamer special. It's a, well, speaking of yellows. Oops, wrong brake. I want that one. Is that a single yellow? That means the signal before Crewe is red. Emergency might be an overreaction, but it also might not. You just got the door panel and the AWS plunger. Very nice. You end up renting a car. No, we did booked in for some bus tours instead. I'm hoping this emergency brake is going to stop me. I think it is. I think it is. And it goes yellow. Of course it does. That's okay. It'll be a little while before the train's brakes catch up with that. Oh, look, the brake gauge is doing the right thing this time. It's actually going back to 0. But listen to that airflow as it fills up the rest of the train. There we go. Sounds like it's done. Pete says next up is a throttle, hopefully in stock soon. He's making another batch, so he's about to release that. I'd go for a door panel, but really it's not that much different to the one that I built, so I shall just keep mine. Do you know something I haven't seen in this run with the reduced timetable? All the switches have actually been drawing in properly. That's kind of unusual for the Xbox. That's good. That means it's not running out of memory. That reminds me of something. I just saw the British Rail logo over on the shed there. I need to see if GBR are doing any promo merch yet. As we slide into Crewe for our final stop of the today. I do like the AI horns. Makes me happy. I don't like seeing Crewe so empty, but, you know. I do also like that my Xbox didn't crash on the way here, so this is a good thing. I have the advantage over some people who stream from their consoles that I'm streaming through the capture card on the PC. So, if my console crashes, my stream doesn't go away, we just have to wait for it to boot. Lots of people who stream directly from the consoles, their stream disappears when that happens, which is very unfortunate. It's my throttle on, it is. I thought we came in pretty quick. Just have to sit for a moment while we wait for the next driver to take this service. Time to lock the doors. And that's it. With the guard's whistle blowing, going, get out of here. And look at that, even my Xbox profile's back up to 44. Hasn't been like that since the great crash. When my Xbox S could not handle it anymore. The PPC Pro, Pete. So PPC Pro and a flexi brake is what I am getting. That's the grand plan anyway. And I had to make a bit of a special arrangement so that it would be ready in time for me to pick it up. Or actually to get given it to more to the point, because he's going to be at the same place I am. Does mean I have to carry around 5 kilos of controllers for the rest of the trip, but that's okay. I'll survive that experience. It'll be fine. Anyway, that's it for this morning. I will be back tonight with Horseshoe Curve and a minor inconvenience, and I'll be back tomorrow night at 10 a.m. BST, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for both of them. Tonight is Horseshoe Curve with minor inconvenience, and tomorrow will be a preview of Thames Valley. And I'm about to go away and re-record my tutorial for the Marlow, which it is actually a complete run, but that doesn't take very long, so that's okay. Alrighty. Oh, apparently there's sales live on all platforms. How about that? I didn't know. So if you want something, go for it. Sales are always the best time to buy games. Full stop. I'll leave it there. If you don't need to buy, I said I'd leave it there. I'm keeping going. If you don't need to buy the latest version through a FOMO thing, always wait for a sale. Always. It just makes things so much more affordable. Alrighty, have fun, folks. Thank you very much for staying along for the journey, and thanks for all the chat. It's been highly appreciated, and I will see you on the next one. Bye now. I should get a purple one of these, shouldn't I?